So yeah, I'm Flo. I'm currently 16, but I qualified when I was 15 at the end of last year. And yeah, so welcome to these classes. These are free classes which are funded by Active Gloucestershire and Sports England. So a big thank you to them. With their help, these can be free, so you guys can experience yoga for free. So please do kind of tell everyone about them, tell your friends, family, let people know about these classes. So I really do think it's great that you guys can come here for free. And you may see that it's recording, so this just means that we can replay these classes. We can send you the recording so you can do the class again at home. So don't worry if your video is on or off, we won't see you, you won't be in the recording, it's just me. Don't worry about that. If you do want to get the replays, I'll put a little link in the chat thing at the end so that you can sign your email up, do the kind of health form as well, and make sure that you can get these replays if you'd like them. So yeah, I think that's everything. If you haven't filled out a help form, make sure you do that as soon as you can. But this practice is for you, so especially if I can't see your video, really making sure that you're listening to your body, making sure that you're not doing anything that is kind of painful or anything that doesn't feel right. So listening to your own body, basically, you know your body more, like better than anyone else. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mute everybody so that if someone's dog walks in, we don't all like see that. But if you do need to unmute yourself for any reason, then you can. Okay. So we're going to start off in a nice comfortable seated position. So you might want to grab like a cushion or anything if you want to pad your hips up, just so that your hips are a little bit higher. It's a little bit more comfortable on your back, or I find it is. You can sit cross-legged or kneeling or with your legs any way that you like, just so making sure you can still sit up nice and tall, so your shoulders are still over your hips. We're going to start by just getting nice and comfy, so you might have a little bit of a wiggle. And we're just going to come to stillness. So you might want to close your eyes, you might want to just look into your lap, just finding somewhere to focus on so you won't be distracted by kind of looking around. I'm just going to start by bringing our thought and our awareness to our breath. Just starting to find this quiet and this stillness. Getting ready to start our practice. Just closing your eyes, starting to feel your breath moving through your body. Starting to feel this flow of breath in and out of your body. Breathing in maybe through your mouth or your nose. Feeling the air going down the back of your throat. Maybe feeling your chest rise. Maybe you can feel it in your rib cage. Maybe you can feel it all the way down to your tummy. There's no kind of right or wrong, just starting to really draw your attention to your breath. Notice if you're breathing deeply, maybe you're breathing a bit more shallow, maybe you're breathing quick or slow, maybe you're somewhere in the middle. Just starting to use this breath as a nice anchor so that your mind can be focused in on the moment, in on your body, ready for your practice. And seeing if you can get your breath nice and deep into your tummy, maybe placing your hands onto your tummy and just starting to see if you can feel your tummy expand as you breathe in. So it might not be a lot, and it can be quite hard to breathe quite deeply, especially if you don't naturally. Just starting to see if you can get your tummy to move even just a tiny bit as you're breathing in. So your tummy's blowing up, expanding, maybe feeling your fingers kind of drawing apart as you're breathing in. As you're breathing out, feeling your tummy draw back in a little bit. So you're feeling this nice flow of air, flow of breath through your body down into your tummy. You're starting to breathe nice and deeply. And we're going to try a little bit of square breathing or box breathing. So you may have done this with me before. This is a really great technique to kind of help you focus and to help breathe nice and deeply, and it's also really calming. So we're going to breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, and hold for 4. So we're making like a square with our breath. So I'll start off counting with you, and then I'll leave you to count for yourselves. So it's really important to try and keep breathing nice and deeply whilst we're doing this, so you don't get too kind of short of breath. But if you do find that you're feeling a bit uncomfortable doing it for any reason in any way, then just go back to breathing naturally and focusing on breathing nice and deep. And then you can rejoin the breathing technique or not, depending on how you're feeling. So again, we're really listening to our bodies, listening to ourselves here. So you don't need to push yourself. You won't really gain anything from that. So we're going to start off breathing in. So taking a nice deep breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 1, 2, 3, 4. And hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. And breathing in. And hold. And breathing out. And hold. And breathing in, maybe you want to close your eyes so you can really focus on this breath. And hold. And breathing out. And hold. See if you can hold by engaging your core instead of just closing your throat. And we're breathing in again. And hold. And breathing out. And hold. And then counting for yourself. So maybe drawing your own square on your leg. You might see what I've been doing. Keeping your own count of 4. You're breathing in, holding, breathing out, and holding. So I give you a minute or so for you to do this. Try and keep your focus on this breath, and try and keep your square with a nice even side so it doesn't become a rectangle if you skip the holds. Using your core muscles to control that hold of your breath. then just finishing your kind of square, finishing this round. And then just allowing your breath to relax, to go back to normal, back to your natural breathing. So maybe closing your eyes and really noticing the change in your breath maybe. Notice how you're feeling, how this breathing technique has made you feel, maybe in your breathing, in your body, or in your mind. Feeling this nice focus that this breathing technique cultivates. So if you've been coming to a few of these free yoga classes, you'll know that we've been working on themes. We've been working through the niyamas and the yamas, which are basically kind of codes of conduct of how to be good and do good in the world. So today, this week, we're using the theme of Ahisma. So this week is actually Mental Health Awareness Week, and the theme is kindness. So Ahisma really works with this theme, and it literally translates to non-violence. So this violence can be interpreted in lots of different ways. So it could literally be, physical violence, and trying to not engage in physical violence, but it also can be a lot more subtle. So it could be trying to refrain from getting into arguments. It could be trying to be kinder to the environment, kinder to yourself. And this non-violence also kind of means your thoughts. So it's trying to cultivate kind thoughts towards other people, and especially kind thoughts towards yourself. So this is what we're going to be focusing on in today's practice, is trying to be aware of the thoughts that we think during our practice whilst we're moving about ourselves and others, and just noticing whether they are kind or unkind. So we're trying not to judge ourselves at all, not trying to judge how we're thinking, but just we're trying to take notice so that we can maybe try and work this practice of Ahisma into our lives a little bit more, this practice of kindness. So we're going to start moving now. So maybe having a little wiggle. Notice if your back's got a little bit sore from sitting, maybe kind of rolling your shoulders a little bit, maybe doing a little kind of dance, maybe having a little kind of move from side to side, little twist. And we're going to breathe in, reach your arms up above our heads. So we're growing really tall, looking up towards the sky, maybe reaching up nice and tall. I'm just going to fall down over our legs. So you can keep your legs crossed, try and keep your hips pressing into the ground. If you're sat on a cushion, you might want to move it. And just starting to feel a little bit of a stretch in our hips. Maybe a little bit of a stretch in your lower back as well. So we're just starting to warm up our body a little bit before we stand up. So again, you don't need to push yourself at all. You want to be kind to your body. So just finding a position in all of these poses where you can feel a stretch, feel your muscles maybe working, but it shouldn't be too uncomfortable. Take a nice deep breath here, feeling the breath in the back of your rib cage. And then breathing in, rolling up, really kind of dragging your hands so you're gently uncurling, rolling your shoulders back. And we're going to cross our legs in the other direction. So moving the leg that's on top, bring it so it's underneath. You can do the same thing. So breathing in, reaching your arms up above your head. Imagine you're pushing your head up towards the sky, like you're trying to grow up nice and tall. Then breathing out, folding down. So it doesn't matter how far you fold, just getting yourself nice and comfortable. And again, feeling the stretch. Maybe notice if it's a little more intense in one hip than the other. Maybe you can feel it in one side of your back more than the other. Taking a few deep breaths. feeling this breath in the back of your rib cage. Taking one more deep breath, really like you're really trying to expand your rib cage. Breathing in nice and deep, and breathing out, and roll up again, really dragging your hands, keeping your chin tucked in, rolling your shoulders back, and looking up. Lovely. And then you want to have a little bit more of a move, a little bit of a wiggle. And we're just gonna hug our knees in. So see if you can really wiggle your feet as close to your bum as you can. So you're curled up in a little ball. You're giving your legs a nice big hug so you can really feel your body kind of pressing against your thighs. You want to tuck your chin in, tuck your head in onto your knees. So you're curled up in a really tight little ball. I'm just going to take a few breaths here, really feeling like you're giving yourself a hug. So you're just showing yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of kindness. Really giving yourself a really tight hug in. Maybe you can feel a bit of a stretch in your back, especially if you're really tucking your head in. Giving yourself a lovely little cuddle. Feeling a breath in the front of your body against your thighs. Feeling this kind of safety, this control, this love. Really hugging yourself like you're trying to cheer up a friend or a member of your family or something. Really trying to give yourself that love that you try and give people when you hug them. And then nice and gently going to uncurl. We're going to make our way on up to standing. So nice and slowly, you don't want to get dizzy. Nice and slowly, making your way to standing. We're going to come and stand at the front of your mat, or the front of your space. We're just going to place our feet under our hips, the hands down by your sides, kind of facing forwards. So you want to make sure your shoulders are away from your ears, almost like your shoulders are squeezing towards, your shoulder blades are squeezing towards each other a little bit. Your hands out by your sides, your fingers are nice and spread apart, almost like you're about to draw around your hand. You want your tummy muscles to be engaging slightly, so it's coming into this nice mountain pose. You want to make sure that you're not sticking your bum out too much, you're tucking your tailbone in, and your tummy muscles are engaged. Maybe you want to look up a little bit. You might want to close your eyes. And maybe imagine like a warm sunlight on your face. You're kind of opening your chest and feeling the sunlight on your face and on your chest, giving you this warmth and this kind of love. Really feeling this kind of beautiful, life-giving light on your face and on your chest. Like you're receiving this energy, this almost kindness from the sun. The sun, makes plants grow, it gives us life. You're taking a nice deep breath in, breathing again all the way down to your tummy. Lift our arms up nice and tall, like you're really trying to reach up towards the sky. As you breathe out, I'm going to fold down. So you don't have to touch the ground. You can bring your arms onto your elbows if you want, so that there's not that temptation to reach down. And just letting your upper body kind of hang, letting gravity do the work. You might want to give your legs a little bit of a massage, warm up your legs, as this is our first kind of forward fold, first time we're stretching them out. Give them a nice little rub. And then breathing out, gonna bend our knees and place our hands down by our feet. And we're gonna step your right knee back and place your right knee on the ground. So you want to make sure that your front knee is over your ankle, not your toes, so your shin's nice and vertical. And you're going to come up so that you're placing your hands on your knee, or you might want to place your hands on your hips. So again, we're feeling this nice openness in our chest, bringing our shoulder blades back towards each other. Feeling this lovely breath into our chest. Being able to breathe nice and deeply, so the chest nice and open. You can bring your hands down by your sides if you like. Also feeling this lovely stretch in our hip flexors. So if it's a little bit too intense, you can bring your knee a little bit closer in. Or if you want to stretch a little bit more, you can wiggle your knee a little further back. I'm just going to take a few breaths here, really enjoying this pose, these stretches. Being able to breathe nice and freely. And breathing out, I'm going to place our hands on the mat. I'm going to step back and come onto all fours. Place our hands under our shoulders, your knees under your hips. So coming into this tabletop pose. Now just give your wrists a little bit of a twist, a little bit of a wiggle. Making sure you're going both directions, just to warm our wrists up a little bit. Then placing your hands nice and flat. Again, you want your fingers really spread out. Like, again, you're going to draw around it with a pencil, so they're nice and spread out. And you want to be pushing into your fingertips, so there's not too much weight on your actual wrist. And as you breathe in, I want you to drop your tummy down towards the ground and look up. So you're pressing your belly button towards the ground, pushing your chest forwards and looking up. As you're breathing out, really gently moving and pushing your belly button like you're trying to reach up to the ceiling and looking between your legs. Now you're trying to push the ground away. And then breathing in very nice and slowly, bring your belly button down towards the ground and looking up. Feeling this nice openness in your chest again. So warming up our spine. And we're going to keep this nice flow going with the breath. So breathing out, you're looking between your legs. As you're breathing in, you're looking forward, arching your back. So going at your own pace, you don't have to be in time with me, you don't have to be in time with anyone else if you're doing it with someone else. You'll be closing your eyes so you can really focus on the flow of your breath and the flow of your movement. So you're breathing in, looking forward, breathing out, rounding your back, looking between your legs. Just going to do this for a few more breaths so we're really warming up our back. But moving in a nice gentle way. So listening to your body. We're trying to be kind to our body here. And then we're going to gently breathing out, and we're going to gently make our way back to our tabletop. So our back's nice and flat. You want to kind of check with your hand that your back's nice and flat. And then lift up our right leg. So keeping it bent if you can. We're going to, keeping it bent, keeping that nice right angle in your knee. And we're trying to keep our hips nice and level. So making sure you're not opening your hip out, keeping it nice and level, keeping your tummy engaged as well so your lower back is nice and flat. Just using our core, our muscles in our back, and our glutes here. And then if you can stay here if you want, or if you want to come back to the tabletop, that's totally fine. Again, listening to your body, you don't need to push yourself at all. You don't have to prove anything. And gently reach back with your left hand and reach for your foot. And then if you can, maybe pushing your foot into your hand. So still trying not to open your hip, trying to keep your hips nice and level, opening your shoulder. And if you're struggling to balance, making sure you're pushing into the ground with the back of your foot as well as your fingertips. So if this is too hard, that's fine. You can keep your, you can either just have your leg up, or you can, if you've got like a sock or anything around you that you can use to kind of help hook your foot, or you can grab hold of like your leggings, your trousers, to help you reach back. And then however you've been, breathing out, bring your legs back down. I'm going to slide forward, so bending your arms, lowering down, sliding your feet back, so we're lead on our front. Just going to bring your elbows under your shoulders, so lifting your chest up. Again, pushing your shoulders back and away from your ears. So coming into a nice Sphinx pose. So maybe looking up or just looking forward. Your wrists are feeling a bit sore, then feel free to give them a little twist. Really feel them click out, making any movements to release your wrists, making them feel a little bit more comfortable. And placing them back down. Really feeling this nice arch in your back. I'm just going to make some circles of that neck. So again, really loving your body. Really showing yourself kindness. So if any of these poses is uncomfortable for you, or if any of these poses are kind of too much in any way, then see if you can take a gentler variation. I'll try and give them to you, but if you've kind of got your camera off, I'm sometimes not sure if you're struggling or not, but hopefully there'll be a variation for you. And as you're making these circles, really feeling into your neck, really allowing any stress or tension that's being held there to dissolve. And making circles in the other direction. Trying to keep your shoulders pushing back, pushing away from your ears. Feeling the stretch in your neck, any clicks maybe in your neck. Releasing that tension, releasing that stress. And gently making your way back up to your full Sphinx pose. I'm going to breathe out gently, lowering down so you're lead on your front. I'm just going to take a breath or two here, just feeling kind of the front of your body nice and secure and safe against the earth, against the ground. Taking a few deep breaths here, and maybe just checking in with what you've been thinking about. So notice maybe if your mind has wandered off at all, and see if you can gently kind of notice where your mind has gone. So have your thoughts been about yourself, about your practice? Have they been about someone else? Have they been maybe kind or unkind? Or have they just been like completely random? All of these kind of options are all okay. They're all good. They're all fine. But just seeing if you can notice, paying attention to your thoughts. So the thoughts you feed grow. So maybe noticing, seeing if you can pay more attention to the positive kind of thoughts than maybe the negative ones. We're going to gently bring our hands back under our shoulders and curl our toes under. And push our body up, see if you can engage your core like you're doing a little press up onto your knees, straightening your legs so you're coming up into your downward dog. So making sure you're nice and comfortable here, so you might want to have a wider stance or a shorter stance, totally up to you. Try and make sure your head's nice and relaxed. When you give it little shakes, make sure you're not holding it kind of in a funny position. You don't really have to look at me, I'm just going to be staying in this pose. And hopefully you'll know what I mean by what I'm saying. So there you can kind of look at your feet. So if you want, you can maybe straighten one leg and bend the other. Almost like you're maybe walking or like pedaling your feet. So straightening one leg, bending the other, feeling the stretch move from one leg to the other. If this is getting too sore on your arms, you can always come down onto your forearms, into your dolphin pose if you prefer. Just kind of listening to your body, because I know some people this can be quite sore in your upper arms, your shoulders. Giving your legs a little pedal. And then you can either walk your feet to your hands, you can do a little jump. Try and make sure you're like transferring the weight into your arms so you don't make a big thud. And then we're going to gently come up to standing. So I want you to curl up really slowly, uncurl really slowly, like you've just woken up from hibernation. So we're going really slow, keeping your chin tucked in. Really slowly uncurling, feeling each like vertebrae in your back, clicking and uncurling. Bring your hands back down by your sides. Brilliant. Again, feeling your chest nice and open. And I'm going to breathe in again, reaching your arms up into the sky. Like you're trying to grow up towards the sky. You can come onto your tiptoes if you like, if you can get your balance. So reaching up nice and tall. Feeling nice stretch in your body like you're growing up. Breathing out, bring your hands back down to your side, coming back to your mountain pose. Bring your feet under your hips, and pulling your shoulders away from your ears and together. Feeling your breath in your tummy again. Breathing nice and deep, feeling your body all kind of gently engaged. Whole body's working a little bit. Feeling again, so openness in your chest, like you're receiving this beautiful sunlight. And then from here again, we're going to reach up nice and tall. If you want, you can do a little back bend here. You can bend back without kind of falling over or without losing your balance. And then breathing out, you're going to fold down. So again, you don't have to touch the ground. You don't have to do anything, basically. Just finding a nice stretch. Let gravity do all the work. Breathing out, maybe allowing your body to relax a little bit more. Maybe kind of swing your arms from side to side like your arms are an elephant's trunk. Nice and loose, kind of playing around with your arms, giving them a little swing like a rag doll. Maybe giving yourself a little twist, feeling nice stretch in your lower back. It's really playing. If you've got enough room, you can kind of like swing your arms around. I don't really have enough room. Giving your arms a nice little swing. And then we're gently going to bend your knees, place your hands on the ground. This time we'll step back our left leg. So again, really making sure your knee is over your ankle, your shin is nice and vertical. If you want to feel more of a stretch, see if you can move your left knee backwards instead of pushing forward over your knee. I'm going to bring our hands up onto your knee. Maybe bring your hands down beside you. So again, we're feeling this nice openness in our chest. Maybe looking up. You can maybe lean back, the arms above your head, or you can keep your hands down. Whatever is easier for you. Making sure you're kind of pushing into the ground with the back of your foot, your left foot, so that you're not putting too much pressure on your knee. And just feeling this nice stretch into your hip flexor here. Taking some nice deep breaths, feeling this lovely openness in your chest, making lots of room for the air and for the breath. So you can breathe nice and easily, nice and freely. And we're going to gently bring our hands back down in front. Step our right foot back, so we're coming back onto all fours. So again, making sure that your hands are under your shoulders, that your knees are under your hips, and making sure that your lower back is nice and flat. And this time we're lifting up our left leg. So kind of shifting your balance. If this is sore on your knees, you can always grab like a blanket or like a jumper or something, or you can like fold your mat over so you've got double thickness, so you don't put too much pressure on your knees. And then you can just kind of gently lift your left leg up, making sure your hips are still nice and level, making sure that your core's engaged, your lower back is nice and flat, maybe giving it a little check with your hand, lifting your leg up. Feeling your core working, your back working, feeling your glutes working. And then if you can, maybe reaching back with your right hand. So you don't have to do this, you can stay just lifting your leg up. You can come back to a tabletop. We're just feeling this nice stretch in your shoulder and in your back. Maybe pushing your foot against your hand. Pushing into the ground with your hands and with your fingertips and the back of your foot. If you want to reach for your like leggings or trousers, that's a bit easier, then you can. Just taking one more breath here. Feeling this lovely stretch in your shoulder. Working in your back. And breathing out. Coming back to all fours. And then we're gonna slide ourselves back forward. So we're coming onto the mat. Again, maybe just taking a few breaths, feeling maybe your tummy moving against the mat. Maybe feeling the breath in your rib cage, the back of your rib cage, maybe your lower back a little bit. I'm going to gently clasp your hands behind your back. Just going to push your hands together and away. So you might find that you naturally lift your chest up a little bit. And this is, you're already like doing the pose here. If you want to stay here, then you can. If you want, you can see if you can lift up a little bit more and feel this real openness in your chest. You can even lift your feet off the ground as well if you like. You can also stay here. There's no kind of right or wrong, there's just variations. So being kind to your body, being kind to yourself. This is your practice. Just noticing whatever is in your practice for today. It's going to take 3 deep breaths here in whatever variation you're in. Breathing nice and deeply, feeling this openness. So whilst you've been moving, whilst we've been doing our yoga, where has your mind been? So it's okay if your mind wanders off. Just see if you can notice where it wanders off to. And notice if what you're thinking about is kind or unkind. But try not to judge yourself for it. It's quite hard to control what we think about. We're just taking notice. And allowing your breath to slow down a little bit. We're starting to prepare ourselves for relaxation. I'm going to bring our hands back under your shoulders and push ourselves up so we're kneeling. We're going to keep our hips up nice and high over our knees. I'm just going to lower your chest towards the ground. So try and keep your elbows out to the side and then gently lowering your chest towards the ground. So don't worry if you can't reach the ground. Just again, making this pose your own, getting it so it's nice and comfortable for you. So if you prefer to have your arms out in front of you, you feel a really nice stretch in your shoulders, or you can have your hands kind of cushioning your head if you prefer. Just finding a nice position for you. Feeling this lovely kind of bowing pose. Almost like you're surrendering just to kind of the flow of nature, the flow of breath, the flow of your life. This kind of humbling, bowing pose. So you can take a few breaths here, because I know it can be quite intense stretch for some people. If you do want to come out of it, we're just going to come to a child's pose next. So if you do want to go straight there, then that's fine. Listening to your body, listening to what you need from this practice. I'm going to take 3 more deep breaths here. Bring this lovely stretch, this lovely opening of your chest. And then when you've finished your 3 breaths, so you're just taking your time whenever you finish your breaths. And gently push back up and push your hips back onto your feet. So you can keep your arms out in front of you, you can make a little pillow for your head. Just kind of arranging yourself so that you're nice and comfortable. Allowing again your breath to slow down. Come nice and deep, nice and slow. And maybe reflecting on wherever your mind might have wandered off to. Gently bring your mind back to your breathing, allowing your breath to slow right down. And as we're in this child's pose, this really safe, kind of protected pose, all curled in on ourselves, we have this warmth and this safety. I want you to think about someone else. So it could be someone in your household, could be a friend, neighbour, just someone you know. I want you to think of a compliment for them. To think about something you like about them. Think about just something that you think is really great about them. I just want you to think of this compliment. And then think how you're going to tell them this compliment. So are you able to just go to tell them in person if you live with them? Are you going to send them a nice message? You're going to ring them? How are you going to tell this person this lovely compliment you've thought of for them? And when you've decided how you're going to give this person their compliment, I want you to bring your thoughts back to yourself. So you're thinking about yourself. And I want you to give yourself a compliment. To think of something you really like about yourself. It could be absolutely anything. I know it can be really hard to find stuff that you like about yourself. And to kind of allow yourself that kind of allow yourself to like something about yourself. So it could be anything. It could be as random as you like. But just find something about yourself you really love, that you're really proud of, and give yourself that compliment. Really tell yourself you like this about yourself. Like you would tell this compliment to someone else. So just giving yourself a compliment, being kind to yourself. Notice how this makes you feel. And then we're going to gently make our way so you're lead on your back. So you want to come up to sitting and then turn around. We're just making our way so you're lead on your back. So you might want to grab maybe a blanket or some cushions, some socks maybe, or a jumper, so that you're nice and comfortable. Just finding yourself so that you're lead on your back. Maybe with your hands on your tummy, maybe with your hands out to the side, so the palms facing up. Maybe having a little kind of shake for your head, like you're saying no. Really allow yourself to get comfy, having a nice wiggle, making sure there's no clothing or skin trapped anywhere. Allowing your feet to roll out to the side, your shoulders to come away from your ears. So feeling nice and relaxed. Then closing your eyes, allowing your face to relax, your jaw to relax. And then staying nice and relaxed in this Savasana, this corpse pose. I'm just going to sit up now so that I can talk you through this relaxation, but staying nice and relaxed and lead on the ground. So as you're lead on the ground, I want you to really imagine your whole body is melting into the ground. Your whole body is becoming super heavy, super relaxed. Every time you're breathing out, you can feel the back of your body on the ground. Every time you're breathing out, you're allowing your body to sink further and deeper into this relaxation. The whole body is becoming heavy, melting, sinking into the ground. Really focusing on this feeling and this sensation as you're led there. Always bringing your mind back to the sensation of feeling heavy and relaxed, feeling the back of your body against the ground. And then see if you can imagine a ball of kind of warm light, almost like a ball of sunlight, on your chest. So you can feel this warm light on your chest, almost like the sun is shining. You're feeling this beautiful warm light in your chest, filling up kind of your heart, your chest, your body. You're feeling this warmth, this beautiful light, almost glowing from your chest, glowing from your heart. And you can kind of feel this light. You can tangibly feel the warmth, maybe you feel a little bit tingly. You can feel it in your heart. This beautiful light is helping you to accept yourself, helping you to be kind to yourself, and helping you to be kind to others. You can really feel this beautiful kind of sphere of light in your chest, ready to help you to maybe be more open to doing things for others and doing things for yourself. So you're able to be kind to others and kind to yourself. Follow this brilliant practice of ahimsa. And then gently, maybe making some small movements with your fingers and your toes. gently rolling on over to your side. Keeping your eyes closed if you can, just making your way so you're led on your side. And see if you can remember this compliment you thought of for yourself. To remind yourself of this compliment you paid yourself. And then see if you can remember the compliment you thought of for somebody else. Just remind yourself of what it was and remind yourself to go tell this person. And then maybe setting yourself an intention of a way to spread this non-violence and this kindness for the rest of this week and for as long as you can. So maybe setting yourself the intention of, helping out with more chores around the house. Or maybe a lot of yogis are vegetarian, to kind of have this kindness towards animals and to reduce this violence towards animals. Or maybe you want to set an intention to be kind to yourself. So maybe setting aside time to do yoga every week or have a self-care practice every day, whatever that might be for you. Or maybe you want to set the intention to call your grandparents every few times a week, or whatever it could be. It could be anything at all. But just maybe setting yourself a little intention of kindness for whatever works for you, whatever you think that you would like to work on, maybe. An intention for your everyday life. And then when you've thought of this intention, it doesn't have to be big, it doesn't have to be groundbreaking, just this little way that you can enact this ahisma into your everyday life. Gently making your way on up to sitting. So just nice and slowly making your way on up to sitting. And then when you're sat up, maybe again having a little wiggle, releasing your back a little bit. And breathe in, bring your arms up above your head, again like you're stretching up nice and tall. And then breathing out, bring your hands down to your chest. I'm just going to say namaste, which just means the light in me honours the light in you, or the good in me honours the good in you. So namaste. Thank you for coming to the class. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying kind of exploring kindness and mental health awareness during this week. Do follow me and Robin, who is the other instructor that does the classes. My Instagram is floga_yoga if you wanted to have a look. So we're both, and hers is Bliss by Robin. So do follow us, and we've been creating loads of content, loads of ways to enact kindness towards others, yourselves, and the environment. I've made like kindness bingo, which you can have a go at, which hopefully you'll enjoy. It's a fun way to kind of create kindness and incorporate ahisma into your life. So I'm just going to paste the links into the box now. But if you need to rush off, then you can. So the first link is the link with kind of like the health form and all that kind of information about signing up your email to get these replays. And there's also, I can't remember what else it was. Oh yeah, I've actually written a little blog post about ahisma, which you might want to explore, just if you wanted to deepen your practice a little bit more. I thought it might be useful to put on there. So do explore those. Yeah, and if you have to leave, then do. If you want to unmute yourselves and have a chat, then you're also welcome to do that. Yeah. I hope you're feeling kind of accepting of yourself and feeling quite kind to yourself, and hopefully feeling excited to spread a little kindness in your life. Yeah, and I think on that link is also, I can't even remember what I wrote now. I think there's also the link to my little kindness bingo if you wanted to have a go at that as well.
Thank you.
Thanks. Hope you enjoyed the class.